Okay, I was meant to make this video 3 weeks ago, but my lazy ass didn't get around to doing it. And since then, Matheus Cunha has scored one of the goals of the season. So let this be a lesson, for me, myself, and for you as well, that if you have a feeling, act upon it very quickly. Because now I look reactionary and like I'm jumping on a bandwagon. Whereas I've thought for a very long time that Matheus Cunha is a very good footballer. But my procrastination has cost me some credibility. So, of course, he scored that amazing goal versus Southampton. By the way, it's snowing. Don't know why I feel the need to tell you that, but it is snowing and it looks very pretty outside. Very much like Matheus Cunha's goal versus Southampton. What a banger. Not my favourite of his in a Wolves top, in a Wolves shirt, which is a compliment considering how good that goal was, but a beauty nonetheless. What a talent. My favourite goal of his is the one versus Nottingham Forest last year. In fact, I seen a video of him talking to his teammates, and even his teammates were saying that's their favourite goal that they've seen live. Which is fair considering he took it from about the corner flag, took it past about 4 players and smashed it into the top corner. I would say Matheus Cunha, I would say this is uncontroversial, has star quality. The first time I was impressed by Matheus Cunha was actually the first game of last year. They played Wolves. They didn't play Wolves, did they? They played Manchester United at Old Trafford on Friday night. It was the first game of the Premier League season. And Matheus Cunha reminded me a lot of Moussa Dembele in that game. The way he was dropping deep, running past players, using his strength to shrug off players, running through the midfield, picking the ball up, running 50 yards with the ball. I was so impressed with him in that game. And I thought, wow, Wolves have a player here. But there were some problems because his finishing, even in that game, and it carried on for the first maybe 8 games of the season, his finishing was so poor. I mean, he missed some sitters in the first third of last year. In fact, he had 1 goal in 12 games. In his next 12 games then, he had 5 goals, 4 assists. So 9 goal contributions in 12 games. What I like about Matheus Cunha though, and I appreciated a lot because I had him in my fantasy Premier League, so I tended to notice this, was his goals don't really come in hat-tricks. Now, if you look at Haaland, okay, Matheus Cunha for me is not better than Haaland. Haaland is the best striker. With Harry Kane on the planet, I would take Haaland over Kane though. When you look at Haaland, the one criticism I think you can have is he will score 4 goals in one match, and then he might not score for 2 or 3. In fact, it happened very recently. He had 10 goals in the first 4 Premier League games, Haaland. I believe he's now on 11 goals, and it's game week, 9? No, 10, 11? So he does go on ducks now and then, Haaland. And he tends to bunch his goals up. It's not 1 every game. It's 3, 0, 0, 2, 1, 0, 3. It's still impressive, but what I like about Cunha is that it tends to be 1, maybe an assist, 1 goal assist, a goal, maybe no goal then for a game, and then another goal. So they're just more spread out than someone like Haaland. In his last 7 games, he actually has 4 goals. And what I like about that is the fact that all of the goals have come in different games. So none of those are a brace or a hat-trick. It's 1 and then another goal in a different game. And he's done that 4 times. And he has 2 assists added on to that as well. So 6 goal contributions in 7 games, which is impressive. He's even getting minutes for Brazil. And I am not going to lie, I anticipate Matheus Cunha to be the number 9 for Brazil. If Endrick doesn't turn world-class in the next maybe year, I think Matheus Cunha, maybe he won't politics-wise because he plays for Wolves, but he should be the number 9 for Brazil. For me, he's way ahead of anyone else in that role. Firmino's older. Firmino's in Saudi. I mean, he's not even in the picture. Gabriel Jesus, as much as I think he's a good player, he's just not clinical enough for me. Richarlison, good player, had some good moments for Brazil. That bicycle kick we all remember in the World Cup. But injury prone, and also he's just not as good as Matheus Cunha. So I think he's better than Brazil's two strikers. The only one you have coming through right now is Endrick, and of course he has star quality as well, it seems like. But I think for the now, I think there's a very good chance Cunha could become Brazil's number 9 if the Brazil manager isn't an idiot. Kind of like Deschamps was not taking Michael Olise to the recent Euros. So the title of this video is Matheus Cunha a top 6 striker, the best top 6 striker in the Premier League? Tough question, isn't it? Because there are quite a few. So you obviously have the two candidates, which are Ollie Watkins and Alexander Isak. And then you have players coming through, well, I say coming through, but you have players on, amazing form and consistent Premier League players like Chris Wood, who's having the season of his life right now. You have Danny Welbeck, who's currently also having a fantastic season. You have Jean-Philippe Mateta, who, okay, not on the best form, but last year, incredible towards the back end of the season. Raul Jimenez, okay, his prime was more so at Wolves, but he's not back to his best at Fulham, but he's regained some of that form, and he's playing well, and Fulham are doing really well too. So out of these strikers, how good is Matheus Cunha compared to these? And I think it's really tough, actually, and it's not really an answer I've come to. I'm going to say I don't think he's as good as Isak. I think Isak is the best striker outside of the top 6 currently. I actually think Isak's the second best in the Premier League. Do I think he's better than Wood? Do I think he's better than Welbeck, Mateta, Raul Jimenez? Yes, definitely 100%. And I will also say he's better than Chris Wood. If any of you in your clubs right now were to take Cunha or Chris Wood, you're taking Cunha. Cunha, for me, I'm not going to talk about a move in this video, because whenever someone who's not in a top 6 team is very good, people just talk about moves. But I do anticipate in the future he will be playing for a better side. Sorry, Wolves, I do apologise. I think the two you're looking at is Watkins, Isak. And I think, like I said, Isak is just amazing. But so is Watkins. It's really tough. But I think the compliment I'll pay to Cunha, the biggest one is he's on that level. You can debate it. I do believe so. I'm going to say I don't think he's better than do I? I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. You know what? I'm going to say I don't think he's better than Watkins or Isak. I think he's the third best striker outside the top 6. Therefore, I think he's the 4th best striker in the Premier League. I do think he is a little bit better than Solanke. Who else is in the top 6? Obviously, Arsenal and Jesus have it. Better than both of those. Would be a really good signing for Arsenal. I'm not going to talk about it. Who else? Better than Nicholas Jackson. So yeah, 3rd best outside the top 6 for me, behind Isak and Watkins, but only just about. And for me, the 4th best striker in the Premier League, a really impressive player. So good at dribbling, genuinely. It gives me Moussa Dembele vibes, really does. But then he has the goal scoring, which he added about a third of the way into last year. And he's carried on that form ever since. How highly do you rate Matheus Cunha? Is he better than Isak, Watkins? Is he at that level? Is he not even better than Chris Wood? Do you think he's terrible? Let me know what you think. I read all comments. I like comments. That's what I do this for. But if you did enjoy this video, give it a like. And thank you very much for watching.